And welcome to another show of Don't Get This Twisted. I am Rob, along with my co-host Tina. How you doing, Tina?
I'm good. I'm excited for tonight.
I am super excited because we have guests.
Yes.
And we're going to talk online dating, which is always a fun subject since this is going to be part 2. We have some friends of a friend of a friend on, so it's going to be kind of fun. We have Kristie and Elena. Hello, girls.
Hi.
Ooh, in stereo. Super awesome. So what we'll do, since we don't know you yet, we'll ask you to give us a little rundown. Who would like to go first? You can raise your hand that nobody can see. And look at that. No one raised their hands. I love it. It's like school. Kristie, you have now been chosen since you sort of raised your hand.
Yeah, I'd love to go first, you know.
Awesome.
Never ending topic. Hi, exactly. I'm Kristie. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, anytime.
And
tell us about you.
I am 34 years old. I am in the OC and I am new to online dating in general. I came out of a very long relationship after having my daughter 8 years ago, and it was a bad relationship. It was awful. So I was single for a while, and then I was like, okay, I'm going to try dating. You go out, you meet people. It's not what you think, especially when you meet them, you know, when you're at a bar or a club. You know, what do you expect when you're at, you know, a place like that? So you get what you get, right? And then one day I was like, okay, I'm going to try online dating. And oh boy.
that fun.
Online dating was a whole nother world. It's kind of scary. I met a few cool people, and there's a few it's just very questionable. So yeah.
And we'll get to those stories, I'm sure. Yeah. And Elena, your turn.
All right. So my name is Elena, and I am 41. And I also came out of a very long relationship. I was with someone for 10 years. It ended up being very toxic towards the end. I became their mother, and that's not what I wanted to do in a relationship. Mm-hmm. So that ended really bad. Then I tried going out, and I was like, I'll find someone going out, gets me out back in the field. I learned the hard way that dating changed a lot. It's no longer the way I was used to dating. It's a lot faster. You get into those relationships like in a 1, 2, 3, and then you figure out, oh, did it work out or not? Okay, well, next, let's move along. And I was not used to that. So then I said, okay, well, this is not working. Let's try online dating. I've done it all. I've done Match. I've done Bumble. I've done Christians ready to mingle. You know, I said, oh, maybe I'll find a good Christian. Yeah. No. That didn't work. So then they're like, go to church, Elena, you'll find a good Christian boy in church. Yeah, no, out of church, they're not a good Christian boy. No. So I've tried every website out there. Hello, Cupid, done it. I think I open and close the same apps again because I'm like, maybe it's changed a little. And no.
Okay. What about you, Kristie? What have you tried? Have you tried the same
I've
apps?
tried, I want to say it was Hello Cupid. That sounds very familiar. That was one of the first ones I got on because I heard, oh, it's free. There's cool people. And then when that didn't work, I tried Match. I said, you paid for Match. There's got to be like legit people on Match because you pay for your membership. No, that's not it. That wasn't the deal at all. But those are the only two I've tried.
So I tried Bumble and I've tried Facebook dating. I found that those, at least for me, were the better ones that actually worked. Bumble's quite interesting because if you match, the girl has to talk first. So
I heard that.
Yeah. So for someone like me, that's great because I'm super shy. So I think it helps that they will have to contact you first. Teeners, what are you using these
Just
days?
Facebook dating.
And what about, are you fishing and catching fish or what?
I've met some people. Yeah.
Good experiences, bad experiences?
Oh, all kinds of experiences.
Well, that's good because we're going to definitely talk about those.
Yeah, we may not.
Well, no. I'm
That's
sorry.
why we have guests.
We're going to talk about the guest experiences. We're just going to jump in and kind of giggle with them.
Yes. I'm good with that.
So obviously there's going to be good and bad stories. We can go down either route for either of you young ladies.
Give us a good story. How's that? Like something that like will make us laugh or
give us a juicy
us
story.
or, yeah.
Like
there's good stories with online dating.
I mean, those
things
yes.
go together.
Generally,
they're all good stories when they're
Generally, it's like a car accident on the freeway. We're always looking to see the dead people. So online dating is like we're looking to see the juicy stories. So the shitty stories are obviously the better stories. But I mean, look, if you have a good experience to talk about, there's nothing wrong with that either. I mean, my thing is that we want to show people that like, look, there is hope out there still. It might be not the greatest hope, but I want to leave this going, look, try online dating still, even though there are not the greatest stories. Because I've heard of other stories that from friends of mine that were like, yeah, they met, like literally got married. I'm like, that's the craziest shit I've ever heard.
It's no different. I don't think that online dating or that pool of dating is any different than like people you'd see on the street. How many people you see on the street you want to date? Not very many of those either. So it's just, wading through what's out there and picking what you're interested in. So I don't think it's much different. It's just easier. There's more accessibility.
I just think we've knocked it down to, I mean, obviously looks are, we all look for looks. If we're not visual creatures, we'd be lying, but we've literally, now it's just like boop, 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 left, right, left.
It's happening.
So like, there is no, I mean, do you read profiles, ladies?
Yes.
I mean, legitimately read them?
Yes, I do.
I do too, but I think we're a very small percentage of people. Because
I don't read everybody's, only the one that,
right,
after
the ones
I hit left 20 times and I find somebody that wasn't on the left column, you got to check it out.
I had put something in my profile that should have not been a warning sign, but someone should have asked about. And I've only had it asked about a couple of times because people aren't reading.
What was it? What did you say?
Oh, no, we're not going to say what I put on there.
Come on.
No, because that's the secret. It's got to be something that kind of stands out. But I just
You're
thought
going to
that
tell me off air.
Yeah, well, yeah, we'll tell you.
Okay.
We'll tell you all off air.
I'm putting this down on my notes. So that you can tell
I'm
me.
sure you are. You're not going to let me get away with that one. Okay, ladies, who wants to tell their first story? We're going to go with Elena because she didn't raise her hand in the first thing, and I'm going to play the teacher today. You didn't raise your hand. You get to tell the first story.
Okay, so are we saying bad story or good story
first?
Whatever you'd like. I heard that you guys were in a bar talking about these stories, so you can tell whatever story you want.
Okay, well, let's see. I met this guy. I'll start with bad and then we'll go into the good.
Okay.
I met this guy in Match and I was like, wow, this guy is very attractive. Let me read his profile. Oh, he likes to I'm a very outdoorsy person. So that's the first thing I look. I read, oh, you like to go hiking, you go to the mountains, camping. I'm like, okay, I'm interested. So I was like, and he's good looking. He doesn't look like a farmer. I'm good. Let's check it out. So I start talking to this guy. We go on a date. He's a little too much. It was a rainy day and he was like all decked out. And I think I had some boots, some yoga pants, and like, I looked all right. But he was just like, that's how you dress for like, to meet someone for the first time. And then at first I was like, okay, whatever. I'll brush that off. Then we went for a second date and it was all right. We had coffee. I wanted to start it, small, soft. I was barely coming out of a relationship. I was not so sure of what I wanted at that point. So then we started talking, and then this guy starts sending me pictures of himself, like one after the other. And I was like, what the heck is wrong with this guy? And then they start getting like halfway naked and my shirt off, and then with the towel around his waist. And if I didn't reply back to any of this text messages, I would get another text saying like, did you not like my picture? Why didn't you reply back to my picture? And I was like, dude, because I'm working. Like, I don't have time to like be looking at every picture you send me. Like, you give me time to get off of work and then I'll reply. And it was always like me. Like, what do you like about me? What is it about me? What is everything about me? And I was like, this is too much. I can't do this with this guy. I literally had to block him from Match because he would like hunt me down. And he was always like, oh, well, you know, there's all these girls that want me. And, you know, I just, you know, I don't have time for all of them and this and that. It was very like, I need to build myself up to this woman, right? So I remember once we spent the night together and I was like, aha, this is why you built yourself up so much, because you have issues and every girl must leave you because of this reason.
What's the issue?
It was like, no,
what's the issue? What's the issue?
What's the issue? It's got to be ED.
Yeah.
It don't work or it's small.
Right.
Which is it?
Very tiny. Like this, tiny.
Oh.
Tiny.
And did it not work either?
Well, if that's tiny, whether it's working or not, I don't know.
Yikes. Is that the phone ringing?
You know, I was like, this is why this guy is so like, give me like love, give me credit. Let me know that I'm hot looking, because he was so insecure of himself. Mm-hmm. But I think like if he would have played himself in a different way, it wouldn't have been so bad. But when you're so insecure of yourself that you make it too much. At the end, he told me that when I cut it with him, he told me that I will always be the cat lady. And I was like, I'd rather be the cat lady and be happy than have to like be telling you every day that you look good in order for you to feel well. Yeah. That was horrible. I closed my Match. That completely was the last like straw for me on Match, and I closed it down.
Nothing worse than a good looking guy with a little dick.
Nothing worse. Nothing worse.
Yeah.
It makes me mad. It just makes me mad. I'm like, what a waste.
Yeah, waste completely.
And then if it don't work on top of it.
Yeah. You know. Hello.
You know,
don't think that you're all that, homie.
It's like the ugly guy that has a huge schlong. It's no different than the ugly guy that's got a schlong that's so big they doesn't know what to do with it.
True.
Yeah.
Been there too.
That's very true.
Yeah. You know. Kristie, it's your turn.
Oh, okay. So both of my stories, well, one at a time. Both from Match. We'll start with this one. So I met this guy. This was actually one of the newer people I met. And it was December of the first year of the pandemic, I want to say, when everything was shut down. You can't go anywhere. We met. We had like a month and a half of great conversation, exchanged numbers. It's going great. We've had like FaceTime conversations, so we know what each other looks like, what each other sounds like. It's legitimate. It's what you see on their profile, so you know there's no catfishing going on. And then we finally meet up. So he had a apartment that was like beachfront, so it was nice. Set up, a date on the sand. It was chilly because remember, wintertime, December. But it was nice, great conversation. It was going great. This good looking guy. And during the pandemic, you get lonely, you can't go out there, you can't meet people face to face. So you don't really know what to expect. And then you hit it off with somebody and you're like, oh my gosh, this is so good. And me trying not to get excited. Wow, I finally met someone that, seems like the real deal. Let's see where it goes. So that was the first date. And then a couple weeks after that, we had our second date. It was going really well. I started noticing, and I don't know, maybe I I'm colorblind when it comes to red. I don't know how to look for red flags. Maybe I don't know. I'm like, is there a care news manual for this thing?
Yeah. I mean, you were at the beach. You should have saw a lot of red flags. You were at the beach.
Right. At the beach. But because everything was closed, there's nowhere to go at that point, because we're, it's the pandemic times. Everything's closed. There's nowhere to go. So the beach date. Cool. Yeah. I dig it. Take drinks with us, take sandwiches, whatever. It worked. By the second date, it was fine. A little clingy, a lot of texting, and, kind of like what Elena said, during the day, I don't have time to sit there and have, constant, consistent conversations sometimes, because I have my
work.
Kid, and I have work, I have a life, I have things to do. So we would find time and we would chat. After chatting before meeting in person for about a month and a half, then when we finally met, we went on 3 dates. And then after that, I was like, okay, no, this guy's not that bad. He's really attentive. You got to give him that much. As women, we have this list of things we look for, and, the attentiveness and the reciprocation, it's like such a big deal, and I'm checking off all my boxes. It's going great. And then out of nowhere, after probably the third date, I want to say, just like stopped hearing from this guy. And I'm like, okay, did I say something wrong? Did I do something wrong? Like, we're in, the what's trendy right now is like ghosting, right? And so I'm like, I don't know. I haven't been through this yet. So I'm questioning myself now. Did I say something? Did I do something? So I'm like, okay, I'm not going to reach out because I've already, called, texted, haven't heard back. And so I give it a few days, and then I'm like, no, this is bugging me. I'm going to reach out. I reach out to him, no answer. So then I'm like, that sucks, because I was really starting to get into this guy after, a few months of now chatting, a few dates. And then I'm like, okay, I'm going to step away. I go back on Match, and mind you, this whole time, I don't want to overcomplicate things by giving my time and energy to more than one person. So once I was like, okay, things are on, a pretty smooth streak with this guy, I'm going to, log off Match. And I don't want to start any new conversations with other people, just in case things, do go well with him. So I log back on and I see him, like, because when you match on there, you can still see each other, but then either they unmatch with you, or they block you, or you block them, and then you can't see each other anymore. So the day that I log on, I see him, and then later that night I log back on again, and he's gone. And I'm like, oh, either he unmatched with me or he blocked me. I don't know what it is. So then I was like, okay, then I'll move on. A week or two went by, and then I get a text from him. At this point, I didn't know who it was, because I removed his number from my contact list. I didn't know who it was. I get a text, and I'm like, maybe it's him. I think it's him. And then I get a call, and I answer, it's him. And then I answer, being unsure, hello, like when you answer like that. And he's like, oh, well, you're answering like you don't know who this is. And I'm like, oh, I'm sorry. I don't know who this is. I don't have this number saved. And he immediately got offended. Of course, didn't have a good reason for why I was ghosted. So then out of nowhere, just wanted to pick things back up. And me, like, I need consistency. So when I wasn't getting that, immediately, like, the switch turned off. I was turned off. I don't want nothing to do with this person anymore. And then here he comes, just strolling back on his bullshit. You know what I mean? Right. And thinking we can just pick things back up where we left them, and with no explanation, no rhyme or reason for where he went and what he did. Did someone die? Were you in jail? Were you in the hospital? Did you die and come back to life? Like, what happened? And then when he noticed that I was completely turned off and I wasn't, into it anymore, he kept on trying to reach out, trying to make plans. And then finally I was like, all right, let's do lunch. So we did lunch. And that day I knew, like, I don't want nothing to do with him anymore. It was just very awkward, very weird. The whole time that we weren't chewing our food, I was the only one talking. And that was just a big no. Like, I need good conversation. I need reciprocation, like I said earlier. And so after that lunch date, I deleted his number again, a second time. And then I was like, that's it, no more. I'm not doing this anymore. And then I go back on Match again. And then it turns out that, so here's what I'm thinking. He either had me blocked and unblocked me, or created a new profile and rematched with me somehow.
Oh,
because after the lunch date, deleting his number, he kept on trying to reach out. I blocked him from my phone. So then he tried to reach out from a different number. I already knew, that's what I was dealing with. So I wasn't picking up. And that's when his profile popped back up on mine. So, and that's what, led me to believe, like, okay, he either made a new profile and somehow rematched with me, or he had me blocked and unblocked me. Now he's popping back up. And then he messages me, "Hi, beautiful." And I'm like, oh, you found me. And then
what is wrong with my species?
Oh, this is nothing for you to question.
So-
that.
I don't get this. I've seen people who ghost the shit out of people, and people who are sending people half naked pictures.
Yeah. So then we just left it at that. I after my oh, you found me, we just left it at that. And I think he finally got the hint.
So you guys have been on different apps than I've been on. And some of the things that I've noticed that makes me wonder about people in general are these things. I love the profiles where the guy's flipping off the camera. That's always a good one. or the ones that are like taking the pictures from their chin, but they're all tucked in and they look like a weird shaped face and a sour look because they're not smiling. They're trying to look hard. I like that they lie about their height. That cracks me up. Like, I don't know if you've
that's
seen
a good
that,
one.
but that one's kind of fun. Or
Mine,
what's that?
mine is if they're wearing sunglasses in their first picture, but then you swipe to see more pictures, and every single picture is with sunglasses
Is
on.
the sunglasses or masks? Masks. That's a good one. Or pictures of their mom and their kids. Yeah, that's another really good one.
Yeah. Oh,
Or
man.
pictures that are like 5 years old. You no longer look like that.
Yeah. Or pre-pandemic ones when people were skinny. That's another good one.
Yeah. Exactly.
Well, what else? Or face tattoos. What is up with
I was
face
just about to
tattoos?
say
Oh
that.
my God. Yes. I don't
People with
understand
face
that.
tattoos, I'm like, no, take a picture of the other side. I don't want to see a tattoo on your face. I just don't.
I have a good one.
What's that?
I came across a profile that I'm pretty sure this person was in prison because, one, the face tattoos gave it away because he had something tattooed across his chin. And then he had something like in cursive or in handwriting, like on one of his eyebrows. But then you swipe through the pictures and then the background, I'm like, oh, are you in prison, sir? Is this what we're doing here?
The prison stances where the way they stand and the way they get down,
Yes.
like they're squatting and they're all wearing white t-shirts. Yeah, you gotta watch out for those guys.
I'm like, they have Wi-Fi there? Okay, cool.
Yeah, they do.
Be on a dating app
Dangerous.
in jail.
Oh man.
Or the ones that like won't even if you're looking at what they do for a living, it's like school or where they went to school of hard knocks, or it's none of your business, or they got some. It's like they're trying to hide what they are, and so that's the first thing you notice. Let's question that. I want to question that right now.
Yeah, if you're an ex-con, at least get it out in the open quick.
I had somebody
Or the
actually
profiles,
tell me real quick that he's like, look, I just got to tell you, I just got out of prison. And I'm like, what? Like, yeah, what? How do you even answer that? How do you reply? Like,
Great.
Yeah, I had
That's
someone
good
tell me
news.
that.
Yeah.
Thank you for being honest, but no, thank you, because I'd have to have a relationship with your parole officer. I don't want to do that. Like, just don't.
It's like,
Yeah, no shit, huh?
congratulations.
Congratulations.
Congratulations, but I feel like I'm going to have to be your mother because you probably, depending on how much time you've done, you probably don't. You need a reintroduction to the world, right? And
Yeah, I'm having a hard time mothering myself. I will not do that with a guy.
Yeah, me neither.
Yeah.
No.
Or it's congratulations, you like women again.
Hey,
hey now.
Hey, just saying.
just
Yeah, whatever floats your boat.
That's right. You have way less facial hair than the last person I was with.
True that.
I know, huh? So, let's see. I got a couple of questions here just for shits and giggles, because we like shits and giggles. Do either of you have a type? And I'm using air quotes because that's a very, very jaded thing to say when it comes to a type. What is your type?
I'll let you go first, Elena.
Okay, so don't think I'm a weirdo or anything.
You're in the right place. If you're a weirdo, you're in the right place.
I like tall and anorexic. I'm like, my
tall and
relationship.
anorexic. Did you say tall and anorexic?
Yeah, malnourished.
Malnourished, yes. I know it's so bad. I'm like, in my relationship, the only fat one is me, and that's it.
I mean, that's fair.
We'll make a 10 with me.
There you go. See, and number 10. So do you like white guys?
Well, I dated white guys and I haven't had good luck. I am never dating Hispanics because we'll kill each other. Mm-hmm. And so my new one is I'm going into Asian guys because they're already skinny. I just need to find one that's a little tall.
Yeah. See, what I'm thinking is if you like tall, skinny guys, you just need to go to a goth club because there's a lot of them there.
Yeah,
tall,
but I don't know
skinny,
about all
white,
black.
Or them looking half dead, but.
Yeah, I mean, I like Morrissey. Don't take me wrong, but not all black.
If you like Morrissey, you'll like tall, anorexic gay men.
Right.
Stop it.
Man, some of them guys are hot, man. I'm like, oh man.
Okay, so we like tall, anorexic. Kristie?
Tall for sure. I'm tall, so I'm like 5'6", 5'7". I need my man to be.
Oh my goodness, that's tall.
That's not tall.
So it's average, right? But the men that I meet, girlfriend, the men that I meet, like especially what we say earlier, they lie about their height on their profile, right? I'm 5'10", and you meet them and you're like, bro, you're like 5'5". Okay, don't lie. So I have I need height. My rule 6 foot or more, and not malnourished like Elena. I need them to have some meat on their bones. I need muscle and meat. And the older I get, I'm noticing, the big teddy bear guys are the best. I don't mind whether he is fit or not, but I need nice teeth, please. I need clean fingernails, and please have a job. That's it.
Well, I mean, yeah, that's kind of important. What about you, Tina? Do you have a type?
Yeah, I like clean cut men. I like men that have a personality. The tall teeth and height would be nice. I'm like 5'9", so to me I'm taller than most men on the dating site. So I wish that they would be honest about their height. I like a personality. They got to be fun. They got to have something going on with them. They got to be able to keep my attention. If they don't keep my attention, I won't give them any. It's just the way it goes with me. So, but clean cut Hispanic guys for sure would be like a type. Yeah. Man. What are you laughing at, Rob? What did I say that made you laugh?
No, I just think in general, as being the only guy on here today, I feel like my species is absolutely horrible, just horrid. And again, I think that look, we're all
I'm sorry. I don't. You know what I'm seeing a lot of The women have really fucked over men. So, okay, so now let me finish. You know, you start talking to guys, I'm really honest. Like, I'm too honest. And they'll tell me, I don't know how to act with you because you don't act like a normal woman. I'd ask them, what's a normal woman act like? Well, we have to be a certain way. We have to talk a certain way. We can't say certain things because we don't want to offend you. As soon as I have an opinion of something, they cower down. What the hell is that we've made men not be able to just hold their own? Like we've as a society, we've done something to men where men can't be honest because even when they are, they're going to get screwed over. They can't have a real opinion that's different than ours. And they just stop. I see more men just shut down. I'm like, whoa, wait, what happened? I really want to know what you think. And they're like, yeah, I've had people say you're too much because you're too honest and I don't know how to act with you. And I think that women have done that. Like as a society, we've kind of browbeaten men to where they don't even know how to act.
Yes, society has demasculated men.
Yes. And I'm seeing that a lot. And I'm like, wait, I always say, I'm not that bitch. Like, tell me the truth. I could handle it.
Yeah, but I mean, from even my standpoint, there's women that don't want you to open the door for them anymore.
Yeah.
They're like,
That's me.
I got
Sorry.
that.
I'm so sorry.
Oh,
You're like that?
No.
No.
I remember, well, see, I don't mind it, but I think what hit me was that some guy tried to open the door for me. And I was like, well, I do everything for myself. I'm a little bit too independent. And I think that's my problem, that I need to change. And he wanted to open the door for me and I opened it myself. And he literally told me, like, don't open the car door. I will open it for you. And I was like, oh, I'm sorry. Like, I'm independent and that's what I'm used to.
That's
and then
me.
he's like, no, from here on and the whole day, I will open your door and close it. I was like, oh, okay. Well, thanks.
That's just
See,
a lost
I had
art.
I'm just not used to it.
I had that same exact thing happen, and he even went, "Don't you get your nails done?" He goes, and I'd say, "Yeah," and he said, "Well, you don't open your door with nice nails; you'll mess them up." And I was like, "What? I always open the door. These are fine." But I was like, "Thank you for having something to you. You know, like have an opinion. That's okay. I was totally cool with that. I like the whole chivalry thing. I thought that was really cool too, and." I am independent, but is that really the way I need to show that I got one? Like, so for me, I was like, please open the door. Open it again. Can you do that one more time? I'm like, ooh, looks sexy opening that door. Well, then I went the opposite way with that. But he was he was happy I didn't open the door. He liked my comments, but it was hard for me. So I made a lot of jokes about it.
I like men opening doors, but
what?
I like men opening doors, but I feel like the more we go into, you know, the 2020s, 2021, the dating world nowadays, not a lot of men do that anymore.
But
it's old school.
If we accept that they don't do it, that's what's going to happen. But for me, and I'll tell a guy, I really do look for a man that walks on the outside of the sidewalk. I really do look for a man who opens doors. Who will hold my purse. I don't know why that's so freaking important to me. And I'm not telling them to hold it like it's a girl bag and they're a girl. But like if I have to tie my shoe or pull my pants up and I need two hands, whatever the case may be, can you please hold my purse and just act like you're okay doing it? Like, I like a man that doesn't care. They will just do that. And he's like, I got you. And it's no big deal. But you're right. There's not very many of those. And I think as a society, we need to start expecting certain things so that we get what we expect. Because guys will rise to the occasion. We're the ones that messed him up and told him not to open the doors.
I agree.
Come on, you took it a little too far. Bring it back in.
Well, look, and I'm going to talk for the men because I'm going to get berated. It's the feminists.
Yeah.
That's what fucked all you guys, because now guys don't give two shits. They're like, open your own fucking door.
But I get what you're saying.
It's true though, like because and like, look, I could say something that sound horribly bad, but like, there's a reason we open the door for you because it's the only way we can look at your ass.
And that should be okay.
No, what I'm saying is that that if I said something like that, I'm going to get bashed for saying that, or I'm going to get bashed for opening up the door. There's no winning from a man's standpoint. And
You
I think
just got to win
happened.
out of me. I said, and that's what you should do. Like, there's a time and a place for a man to do that, and women have not allowed it. And that's the problem. I think we should go back to that. You want to open the door for me and look at my ass? I'm glad you opened the door.
Yeah. And I agree, but I just think that there has to be a balancing act to where that, like, an independent woman is awesome. There's nothing wrong with that. And look, I'm all for that, but you can't have both. There has to be a meeting place in the middle, because if we don't meet in the middle, you're going to have effeminate men with their skinny jeans and, never doing anything for you. You're going to have to spoon feed them everything, or you're going to have what people like to call, the overly masculine, toxic masculinity. Which one do you want? You're going to have to choose sooner or later. And the way we're built DNA wise is we're meant to be hunter gatherers, big men doing the protecting, that's what we're meant for, provider, protector, that's what we're meant for. At least that's what the DNA says, but we've changed that. So how do we get back to the center so you guys can have the hunter gatherer protector, but you can still have the emotional guy that still wants to do gentleman things for you?
What I've learned along the way has been that, like, let's say I know how to change my oil in my car. I know how to change the tire in my car. I know how to do all of that because I'm that independent person. But I've learned along the way that, yes, because I'm too independent, it can cause issues because it turns a man off. They feel like, I can't take care of you, so why do you need me? So I've learned to be like, well, yeah, you want to change the tire? Go for it. Thank you. I appreciate it. But those are things, it has to do how you've been raised, I think. My mother comes from a divorce. I come from a family of a divorce. So we were raised to be very strong, not to depend on no one. And that's how I was raised. And I think to this point, this is why I don't want children. And I never wanted children, because I was part of a divorced family. And I saw how it all went through, how child support went through, how the bitterness at the end, that's what kind of pushed me. You need to be independent so that you can depend on yourself and you don't depend on anybody else. You don't want to have children because what if that relationship doesn't work? Then those kids are stuck in this divorce relationship. So I had to process that myself. Yes, I'm 41 now. It took me a long time. But, there are like things that happen to you in life that you kind of have to like rail back and be like, wait, is this how you want to be the rest of your life? Or is there things that you can change? And maybe you will find that right guy that you're looking for if you change certain things. Not everything. You can still be that independent, strong woman, because there's a man out there that will appreciate that. But don't deball, man.
Right. So my parents were together until my mom passed away, and my dad was always around. My dad used to tell me, never depend on a man, but find a man you could depend on. Women are supposed to be like a willow tree. They could bend, they'll get blown to bits, but they don't break. They don't break because they're pliable and they move and they bend. And that women are supposed to be like that too. And it's not that we can't do it all, but we should appreciate when it's done for us. And I think that we've lost that we don't need you guys because we could do everything. But that's not true. If you're sleeping alone at night, you're not doing everything yourself. It's you can, but it's not the same. It's not.
Yeah.
There is a reason that there are men and women on this earth. And despite what everybody thinks, what women think especially, we do need men. We do need men to be who they are. We do need men to do what they were, what DNA says for them to do. We need that. And I think that because we've gone so out of bounds, and again, I'm a prime one to say I could do it all myself. And I do, but we need to get back to finding that we like it being done for us as well. And not everything, just, whatever it is, that we're working with, if we have someone that wants to do it, we should really respect that and encourage that. I know that when I'm even with friends, I do this to everybody, but if it's a guy and they're doing anything for me, I'll be like, damn, you look sexy doing that. Thank you so much. Like I go completely the opposite way. It doesn't matter if they're climbing under the truck to put their hitch on the trailer. It doesn't matter if they're cooking dinner. It doesn't matter. I have a friend. I love to watch him clean his shower. And we've never had it. It's not anything sexual, but I'm like, you don't understand how sexy fetish. That is. No, it's not. It's just, okay, I could do it, but just the fact that he is, that's fucking sexy. I'm sorry. It just is.
It to me, it's a want need. I've been a single dad since my son was 6. He's 19. I don't need a woman. I want one.
Yeah.
That's the difference. I clean my house. I cook. I do everything. So I don't need a woman. I want one. And I think that there's a flip side to that as well for women. You don't need a man. You just want one.
Want one.
And that's why we are the way we are. That look, we fit together for a reason.
But we need one
mindset.
We don't.
We become so jaded because of everything we've been through. And then, I got to a point in my life where I'm like, fuck this. I'm done. I have no energy to put in. I have no time. I don't want to do it anymore. I can do it all by myself. I don't even need him, And then you get to a point where you're like, well, damn, it would be nice to have not him, but somebody, and then a him, right? And then you get to that point where you finally have to raise yourself from that point to where you're at now. And then you realize, well, maybe I should change my mindset. It's because of, the bullshit in society. And then also I've noticed that so many men lack a lot of home training, and it's just my experience. And maybe they don't have a mom or a sister to teach them better, or maybe, a very gentleman of a dad to teach them better. I don't know what it is, but in my experience personally, the men I've dealt with just lack a lot of home training, and it's not like how it used to be, and it sucks.
It's mothers, because we've all decided that they don't need parents, they don't need dads, and so they're being raised by a single woman that has to work a lot. So they're not getting the time that they need to teach all the fine tuning stuff that a man needs to know. Because
Hispanic mothers are like, don't let that woman control you. Don't let that woman control you. And then she wants to take care of the kids. Oh no, that's not what Hispanic moms are. That's so bad.
So I grew up in I'm Middle Eastern, Syrian to be exact. And growing up in a cultured household, being I'm first generation, I am the oldest and the only girl. So a strict household, you're not allowed to date basically ever. And then the boys are more important than the girls. The girls, basically your life doesn't matter, because, you're not a boy and you can't, keep the family name going. Right. And so I can speak from experience in Middle Eastern households. They worship the boys because, they keep the last name going, it's that dominance, and then the culture thing. Yeah. And then you mix that with like the type of society we have nowadays, and it's just not a good mix.
It's bad. Yeah.
So do you only date Syrian men?
Oh no, girl. I need chocolate.
Oh, okay.
Chocolate. However, I don't discriminate, and I have learned to go, have all the flavors. And then, I don't have a preference. I've also learned if he has a beard, it's a plus. And I've dated one Middle Eastern man, and I probably won't do it ever again.
Really?
Very, very controlling, very, the man has to do everything, because that's just, I don't get me wrong. I love the protector and the provider. Protect me and provide for me all day. Yes. But it's to an extent, a lot of, and it's changing a lot more now. New age marriages. And when I see a lot of ladies that are still going to college, still working. Whereas before, men would marry women. And if it was two Middle Eastern people, the man is like, well, no, you're just going to sit home and have babies and, run the house, and you don't have to go to school or work anymore. What if that girl wants to work or go to school? You know what I mean? So it's changing a lot. And then going back to it's the moms, because that's just how they've trained their sons' brains. You know what I mean? And the man, it's the home training. So, yeah.
And I do kind of agree. I think you need to try all kinds of ice cream.
Yeah. 31 flavors.
Flavors are always
Absolutely.
good. My oldest stepdaughter married her high school sweetheart.
Oh, how sweet.
Yeah, it's sweet. But like I told her, to me, I couldn't imagine only being with one person.
Mm-hmm.
That's just myself. It's just, I couldn't imagine. I love vanilla ice cream. It's the greatest thing in the whole world, but I wouldn't know unless I had chocolate and strawberry and mint chip and Rocky Road beforehand. So there's something to that. So you can't. And I think that's another thing, we all do have a type. So whatever that type is, you can deviate. I think it's mostly in the dating world now. I think it's a good idea to go outside that, but yeah, like for me, I generally only date white girls and Hispanic girls, but that's only just because of probably where I've been. That's just how things fell into place. I'm all up for whoever, because you're all crazy. So
Why, thank you.
You're very welcome. And don't get me wrong. And don't get me wrong. We're just as crazy. Like I'm not saying guys aren't. We're just as bonkers as the rest of the other sex. But yeah, I do agree when it comes to that you have to at least be open to whatever. Let's talk good dates, since we're trying to actually have some kind of good thing coming from this. Let's talk a good date. Either one of you can go first, however you want to do it. Let's have something that's positive, even though if it wasn't a good date, but something positive from online dating. I'm hoping there's something.
There is.
Or in your case, if there hasn't been, maybe you just haven't got there yet.
So, okay, it starts good, but it doesn't end good. Okay.
Yeah, but that's all relationships. I was married. It started great.
Right, it starts good and bad.
I'm divorced. So there's always going to be that part, but I can pick out the good parts of my marriage. I mean, I got a great kid from it.
Well, when it comes to online dating, in particular, good stories. Let's see. So I met this guy, and we had our first date at a amazing Mexican restaurant. He's like, "This is my favorite place. I want to take you here. Meet me there." Great. It's a little bit of a drive for me. I don't mind. So we meet there, have a great meal and great conversation. Our first time meeting, you don't know what to expect. Then all of a sudden the conversation is going amazing. And it's like, oh my God, I hope he has like a ring in his pocket, because I'll say yes, like right now, it's going that good. And so then we're like, okay, I'm in the back of my head. I'm like, are we going to end it here or not? And then he's like ordering shots. And I'm like, I don't know if I want to do a shot. It's the first date. I want to be able to drive. You know what I mean? I'm about 40 minutes from home. I want to be safe. And he orders shots without even asking me if I want one. He just got 2. And I'm like, well, what if I say no? Is he just going to down 2 shots? Like, okay. So he's like, okay, I ordered us shots and you don't have to take it, but I really want to celebrate tonight because I've been looking for a good woman for a while and this is going great. We should celebrate. And I'm like, well, shit. All right. Order another shot. No, I only had 1 shot. And so we take the shot, finish our meal. I offer to split the bill and he's like, don't you ever ask me that ever again. And I'm like, oh, okay. So, by you saying that, I'm thinking, there's going to be a second date. And he's like, well, I hope so. But and he made it clear. He's like, don't ever ask me to split the bill and don't ever reach your hand for the door. I got the door. I'm like, oh my gosh, like this is getting better and better,
yeah.
And then I'm thinking the date's going to end. And then we start talking about sports, and then we start talking about pool. He finds out I don't play pool, and he's like determined. He's like, I'm teaching you how to play pool tonight. I've never played pool. We're going to a pool house. I'm like, all right, whatever. The night is young. Let's do it. So we go to a pool hall. We play pool. It was amazing. I learned. I kind of forgot since then. It ended great. It ended with him telling me, I'm going to sweep you off your feet.
Oof.
And I was like melting at that point. I'm like, okay, honey, this is going great. Like all checking all the boxes, no red flags. It's going great. So that's the good part of it. We went on a few more dates after that.
and then it fell apart.
That was a bad part.
And then it fell apart. I don't know if you guys want to hear that part, since we're on the good topic right now. So
Okay. So Elena, do you have any good stories for our listeners?
I have a good story, but it was not online dating. I met a guy actually through a friend. He was a really nice guy, very sweet. He had a kid already, so that kind of worked for me because I know in my book there was no kids. So I was like, okay, he already has a kid. He won't ask me for more. But I was in we had great dates. We hung out with his son as well. His son, I'm attracted to children, are attracted to me. And I love children as long as they go home. Perfect. So that's every time we can. And so eventually went on, I think, for about a month or two. But at that time, I was emotionally unstable. I think him and I met at the wrong times, but we had great dates. We hung out with my friends. My friends liked him and everything. But emotionally, I had to be real with him and tell him, look, emotionally, I'm not stable and I don't want to drag you along because I know you want marriage and I know you want that full relationship and I can't give that to you now. So him and I are still friends. He's now married. He has 2 more kids on top of his kids. So I figured, you would have eventually wanted those children, and I couldn't lie to you and tell you I would have given them to you because I wouldn't. That would have not been where I was going.
Right. That makes sense.
But he was a great guy. I just met him at the wrong time in my life.
Oh, we've all had those.
Yeah. So there's good guys out there. We just have to, keep on going, keep on trucking.
You got to keep fishing.
Yeah.
I mean, sometimes you got to put the bait down there and throw it into the lake and let it bob for a little bit.
Yeah.
I like fishing. I just always happen to catch all the damn sardines.
Yeah, but that's it. The best part is you can throw them back.
Those fucking sardines.
That's true.
I mean,
me and my love.
You can't be afraid to throw them back. Like, I guess my whole thing is mostly with the online dating thing. Like I said, I've had some. If you listen to the other show, I've had a couple of ones that were just completely fucking bonkers where I was just like, oh yeah. Like I stepped
but you
in a
kind
bear
of
trap.
like them bonkers. So
I like them bonkers, but I don't like them bonkers like that. Like these are the ones where I was going to saw my own leg off because it was in a bear trap. Like
oh, Jesus.
I had to get out of it. But, you're right. We live in a different world. Dating is completely different than it was when we were at least really young. And I got you guys for a couple of years. And then even I was lucky. Most of the people that I've ever dated besides this online dating, I was introduced to. Almost everyone I've ever dated. I was lucky.
Well, yeah, because that's how you used to do it.
Yes. But I mean, I was never a bar hopper. I never
me neither.
Went places, did that kind of stuff. They were like, hey, I know this girl, or hey, I know this girl, or do you know this person? Or
hey, come to my party. And
come to my party and you meet somebody.
Good old days.
Yeah. So again, it's just a much different thing. And I guess for me, if I'm kind of a jump in feet first kind of person. So but if I was going to online date, I don't want to fucking text forever and ever and ever. I'm just like, we might as well go out and you can see how fucked and freaky I am now and we'll get it out of the way. So then we can get through the nonsense because I'm an over talker. I will just and I will spit
and when you're
shit
nervous, it's worse too.
Yeah, and so for me, that's what I like about it. But it's definitely a bizarre thing because like we were talking earlier before you guys came on and like how many people don't match the picture?
Oh,
You know,
a
like-
lot.
A lot. That's what I
A
just
whole
said. The
lot.
pictures are like 5 years old.
Yeah, you get out there and you're like doing this with your phone. You're like, is that you? Like that doesn't look like you. Like I said, the last couple ones I've been pretty. I was pretty lucky. Like those ended up looking like the people they were. But yeah, I just think that you just have to fish a little bit. At least that's how I'm seeing it in this world, that you have to, because we're not online dating is not going away.
No, it's going to be the way
it's not.
people do
yeah,
it.
that's the yeah.
But
Especially,
I was always
Sorry, go
told
ahead.
you're going to kiss 100 frogs before you find a prince. So you just have to kind of be open to what comes next, and you have to know that it may or may not be the person that you're around, and just go with it. And just, I think people just need to have fun, because until we just embrace it like this, okay, being single, everybody says sucks. I'm not seeing it as sucking. What sucks is when you're laying next to somebody and you feel just as lonely with them there as you would if you had been alone in the house during COVID.
Oh,
for a week.
yes.
Yes. Yes.
You really need to look at where you're at in your life and embrace whatever it is and enjoy it. Because if you don't laugh, if you don't have a story, then really, was it worth it anyway? You know, it's not every guy is a bad guy. Not every girl is a bad girl. I think guys would like for that to be the case.
We love
but
bad
it's
girls.
Not the right. I said that a little bit incorrectly. But I think as a whole, again, we get what we accept. And if we want more, then we need to just be really honest with it and take that as your baseline and then go from there.
Yep, I've learned. I've learned the hard way, I guess, that you kind of teach people how to treat you, right?
Yes,
It's all in what you tolerate and what you accept, and when to put your foot down and when to say no or yes. One other quick story, online dating story. Met this guy. We went on a few dates. After the fourth or fifth date, I was like comfortable enough around him. I felt safe. He's awesome. And we want to do a night in of drinking, so we don't have to worry about, Uber or drive or whatever. And so I was like, all right, just come to my place. Like, I have a pretty cool setup at my patio. We can hang out here, drink, whatever. He comes over, shows up drunk. And then I bring him a beer and he gives me $250. And he's like,
What do you give you money for?
He said, this is like bottle service. And then I was like, okay, I'm not going to take your money. I'm not going to take your money, because then I learned from that few minutes after that, he expected sex like right away. And I'm like, dude, I'm not going to do this with you when you're drunk. And, I'm sure he was high too, because he was just out of his element. And yeah,
He was paying you $300.
Yeah, I'm like, okay, for a Corona and for sex, not bad, but
Yeah.
You could do better. Hold out for more.
Drunk sex sucks anyway.
Drunk sex does suck.
Yeah. Yeah. You end up like sleeping on bathroom floors.
ooh,
Yeah.
I let me know when you want to do that episode.
What, sleeping on the bathroom floor episode? You have no idea. I have a great story. About sleeping on a bathroom floor with somebody.
Oh, you're not.
It is amazing. It is so amazing. To the point that we were talking about it, and she was trying to say foreplay, and she said floor play. So now that's what we call it. We call floor play when you get so drunk you sleep on the bathroom floor.
Oh man,
Sometimes that
is epic.
happens. Sometimes that happens.
Yes, it does. And it's always a good story. Like we all have good stories, but I didn't get $250 out of it. I'm going to have to shake her down next time.
Neither did I. I sent him packing with his $250. I
Well,
don't.
that's good.
Because he became a little aggressive. So I'm like, no, I feel a little unsafe now.
Well, there's always fun stories. As long as he's not like trying to put a collar around your neck, you're okay.
Well,
I
unless
got
you
stories like that too.
Unless you're into that.
Oh boy.
Wait a minute, we got the wrong things going on today.
It's okay. We're gonna have to bring them on because we'll do a show on bizarre
Floor
sex
play.
acts or something, or floor play.
Floor play.
I don't know. Floor play is not good when you wake up in the middle of the night on a bathroom floor freezing to death.
Yeah.
And then she's got bumps on her head from putting her head on the toilet.
Oh man.
Ouch.
I'm only joking.
Hangover part 4.
Exactly. But we'd love to have you on again. We'll keep you as guests. We any subject you'd like to talk about, we are always up for it. And look at that. We're right on time, Tina.
I know. So are you ready for my spiel at the end of the
amazing. Amazing. Okay, give them the spiel there, Miss Tina.
Thank you guys for coming on tonight. That was really cool. It was fun. I was a little bit nervous at first, but I'm glad you guys broke us in easily. Thank you for that. So please keep listening and subscribe to our podcast at Don't Get This Twisted. You could listen to it on Spotify, Facebook, Google, Amazon. We're all over the place. And we're getting more states. We haven't gotten any more countries. So please feel free to share it with your friends and have them give us a listen. We'd like to have them.
Yes. And as you know, this is an opinion show, so don't get it twisted. We're just trying to have some fun. So if you like us, keep listening. And if you don't, please keep listening because we have more stuff to just piss you off. Until next week. Thanks, ladies. It's been a pleasure. We're going to have you on again. Tina, as always, you're the bestest. And see you guys in a week. Bye.